Yeah, namaste and good evening, everyone. Yeah.
Namaste, bhaiya. We may start, bhaiya.
Yeah, namaste. Welcome to the Wednesday follow-up meeting of the Students Induction Program, which was initiated in November 2020, and we continue thereafter every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. with a follow-up meeting. We discuss the universal human value content on Wednesdays and the holistic health content on Fridays at the same time, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Now we have been discussing the UHV content of the Students Induction Program in the previous meetings. So the facing slide which you can see is the discussion which we had last couple or 3 Wednesdays. We almost finished that. So we continue with this. Now the most important thing is that this time, maybe the second week, third week of October, all the colleges under the AICTE would welcome their freshers, new students into the college, and Students Induction Program would commence in the colleges. So many students are going to come as freshers, and later some of them are going to join this weekly reunions also. So this is the purpose of these reunions is to facilitate self-exploration within students primarily, and the teachers also, who are co-explorers, who join along with the students. So today is a very special day as far as the country is concerned. So happy Vijayadashmi to all my dear co-explorers. It's a good day to begin several things as it is believed so. But let us make every day like this, that every day is good for doing something good. So we have been discussing about this resolution of concerns in the past 2-3 meetings. Yeah, thank you, Surikant Bhaiya. Happy Dasra. When we discuss the UHV content to the students in the Students Induction Program and the follow-up meetings, we start with their concerns. Because when the students come to the college, they have a lot of apprehensions rather than aspirations, I would say. Many aspirations are there, but more than that, they have concerns and apprehensions. Because it's a change over time. They come to higher education maybe for the first time in the degree program after their higher secondary schools. So a new place and a totally new ambience, environment in which they are put in. They have to stay in the hostel. So there are, so many concerns like that. Lokeshwari Didi, you wish to speak something? Your hand is raised. Lokeshwari Didi. Okay, Lokeshwari Ji. If you wish to speak something, you can speak. Yeah. Ji, your mic is unmute. You can speak. Okay, so yeah, maybe that is accidental. Fine. So if anyone wish to speak something, anyone wish to share something, contribute something, you can raise your hand. Mic will be given to you. So what I was discussing is the students who are coming as new entrants to the colleges, they will be having a lot of aspirations. They'll be having a lot of concerns, fears. So in the Students Induction Program, we discuss this first. Let us put them at ease in the institution. We have to tell them regarding what culture is going on at the institution. What is the culture which is going on at a particular place, and let us bring them to the culture of the institution. Let us familiarize them with the institution, the teachers, the departments, the senior students, etc. For this purpose, for a smooth transition from this higher secondary education to the higher education, the degree level education or the diploma level education, this induction program is planned. And it is planned for 21 days. UHV content is only one among the 9 modules in that. As all of you are aware, this is containing 9 modules, and apart from the introductory session and the valedictory session or the grand celebration, there are other major modules in between. The health session is one among them. The eminent speaker sessions are another module among these. The proficiency module is another one. Creative practices is another one. So if you look into the AICTE website, you can see all the modules and the description of the students induction program. The purpose of these 21 days or 3 weeks induction program, starting from early morning to evening, like in a residential campus in the college for the students, is to have a smooth transition from this higher secondary education to the higher education at the degree or the diploma level. So at the end of the 21st day after the grand celebration, the student who is a new entrant will become familiar with the new place, the new institution, the teachers, the senior students, other departments, his own department or her own department, and will be ready to go with the content, the technical content which is going to be offered to the student. So now we have been discussing in these follow-up meetings regarding the content of the students induction program, specifically which is offered in the this universal human value. Now here, what we have been discussing in the previous 2-3 meetings is regarding resolution of concerns, the peer pressure part, and that is almost finished by the last week. Now, once we finish all the sessions, like there are 13 lectures, so we finish that, we revisit the content again. So today, what we are going to do is, after this resolution of concerns, that is the discussion of peer pressure part, the next session is the health session. So we go to that, or if you have before that, if you have any comments or questions with regard to the peer pressure content, we can take it up. This resolution of concerns, peer pressure, because that is one of the very important thing to be discussed when students come to the institution. So mics have been given to many of you. You can unmute and speak, or you can raise your hand if you want to speak. There are students also joining in the meeting. Faculty members are also there. So anyone who wishes to speak regarding, let's say, peer pressure, which is discussed in the previous meeting, any questions with regard to that, or any sharing with regard to the content, you can place it right now. Your takeaways from the previous meetings. Yeah. Surikant Priya. Surikant, your mic is unmute. Surikantji. Now you muted again. Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, sir. And happy Dasara to all.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to you also.
Yeah, sir. Anyway, under VTU, that's students are coming still, I hope, in the next month. The admission process is going on. And as far as my observation is concerned, and I have also discussed this point in the previous meeting also, on the Sunday meeting, previous Sunday meeting. Is it audible, sir? My voice is audible?
Yeah, very much. You are very much audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So few of the institutions, they are not taking seriously the induction program. For the formality sake of, they will just may conduct or may not be even in few institutions, they are not even conducting the induction program at all. So I think the concerned, if they take some steps, I hope it will be beneficial for the students, where they can understand the human values. This is my personal concern, sir. Maybe the institutions, they may have their own different opinions related to that their own administration. But I think if this is made a little compulsion or something where they have to conduct it, I hope this will be, I hope, very much beneficial for the students, sir.
Yeah, Suryakanji, it is true that the different institutions, the universities and the colleges are taking their own stand with regard to this. Though the AICTE has mandated this as a as it is to be offered in the beginning of the program, beginning of the degree program, diploma level programs. But of course, many of the faculty members in the colleges, AICTE colleges, have been undergoing or have underwent the universal human value content, at least introductory program of that. And many of them are in the process. The online FDPs are in progress. So many of them have underwent this. So the content has reached to many of them. And now it will take some more time for say streamlined students induction program in the envisaged sense as it is given in the AICTE portal. But it is always good. The purpose of this is always to have a smooth transition for the students to be familiarized with the institution and the culture of the place as well as the institution. So that is the purpose. So when the purpose is realized by the higher authorities of the university vice chancellors or the principals of the colleges or directors, then they will fit into the slot. That is what I would like to say. You cannot just persuade anyone to do this in this particular fashion, but AICTE sends mails to every universities and colleges regarding this at the beginning of this induction program. Yeah, let us see that within a few years things will be like everyone is going the same path, and we have a 21 days induction program in all the colleges. I have also experience in some of the colleges which called me. I mean, the UHV cell coordinators who called me, they also shared that this induction program is going to happen for just 10 days in some colleges. Somebody may go only for just 1 week. Somebody may go for 2 weeks, depending upon whatever is convenient to them. So, yeah. So let it be, but let something happen, then nothing. That is what we can wish. And within a few years' time, this will be maybe like in the envisaged fashion. That's what we can wish like.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
What we can do is just offer this program, UHV program, to the students and the other modules also. Let us try to give from our side. So what little thing which we can do, let us try to offer. That's what I can say. Right, sir.
Yeah, definitely. They have included in the curriculum also, sir. Anyway, as far as induction program is concerned, it is not streamlined still.
Yeah, let us see that. Let us see, sir, what we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So any other sharing with regard to the content which we have been discussing, that is peer pressure, that is what we discussed last day. Lokeshwari ji, would you like to share something? Your hand is raised. Mic is given to you also. Okay. Yeah, so if there is no more comments, no more sharing, we will go to the next session. Yeah, Lokeshwari ji, mic was unmute. Would you like to share something? Okay, anytime, because maybe there may be some network issue with Lokeshwari ji. Anytime you feel like, you can unmute and speak. Yeah, so the peer pressure, which is discussed in the last few Wednesdays, this is with regard to the students' behavior. Sometimes the students may try to copy others to succumb to peer pressure. Sometimes they may behave arbitrarily just to come out of the peer pressure. But the right way is to refer to our natural acceptance. Soumya ji, would you like to speak something? Soumya Pandey ji, your mic is unmute. Maybe accidental. Okay. Okay. So rather than going to copy others. Yeah, Perimal Bhaiya. All right. So when the students come to a new institution, from the peers, the senior students or the other students who are over there may be a lot of pressures to behave like them, or to when the students feel like they want to get noticed, like in the say dressing pattern or speaking a language of maybe another language, or eating habits, etc. They may succumb to peer pressure. So copying may be something which is adapted by the students or arbitrary behavior. But let us try to bring their attention to the natural acceptance. And what is lacking there is right understanding. So let us try to, through this induction program, let us try to ensure this right understanding in the students. This is what we can do, as maybe the teachers can do, and also the senior students. Maybe many students who are sitting over here. So the senior students also can do this. Try to bring their attention to this natural acceptance when they have some concerns, or when they have some say apprehensions with regard to the say peer pressure. Let us bring their attention to natural acceptance, and let us try to ensure right understanding through education. This is what we have discussed in a nutshell in the previous discussion. Now we go into the next session. Next session in the SIP is understanding health. So there is a separate health session which is happening as a follow-up meeting on Fridays, as we know. So this is not a complete session. Whatever is included as content in the UHV part regarding health will be discussed here in brief only. So a detailed discussion on health, holistic human health, will be conducted from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on Fridays. So I request all of you to be part of that also. So health is also very important. Health of the body is very important in this achieving harmony, or rather ensuring harmony at all the 4 levels. When we say the basic human aspiration is happiness and prosperity in continuity, happiness is to be in a state of harmony at all the 4 levels: individual, family, society, nature, and existence. So we have started with understanding harmony in the individual level. So the individual or a human being is, we discussed that also, as a coexistence of self and body. And harmony of the human being in the self also has been discussed in one of the previous sessions. And now we discuss about harmony of the human being, or harmony of the self with the body. So health is essentially related to the body. Let us see in understanding health what are all required. So essentially in the students induction program, we discuss about this aspirations and concerns at the individual level. So when we ask the students, they have plenty of aspirations like this. So this is one of the slides which we have discussed last day also. But still, to have completeness, let us start discussing about this also. To be happy, to be healthy, these two are 2 aspirations. So when you say to be happy and to be healthy, are both the aspirations related to the self? Are both of them related to body? Or is one related to self and the other to the body? What do you think? Which one is related to self? Which one is related to body? Can you just put in the chat box regarding this? When we say to be happy and to be healthy are aspirations. Rather, if they are the desires of a human being, to be happy, is it related to self or body? To be healthy is related to body. That is what Ansil is typing. Very nice. Thank you. and to be happy is related to self. Very nice, very good. Yeah, so we have discussed in say session number 2, 3, and 4, etc. Yeah, Perumal G is typing to be happy is related to self. Very nice. We discussed that happiness in continuity is the aspiration of the self. And now we discuss about this health part. To be healthy is the feeling of the self towards the body. Right? We discussed that the body is a material unit and self is a consciousness unit, and the self has a responsibility towards the body. That part is going to be discussed in this particular session. There are other aspirations also, as you can see. So these are something which have been listed by students only in some of the workshops. Knowledge, quest for knowledge, ability to decide properly on my own, independently, purification of mind, controlling the mind, self-confidence, etc. And you can notice that some of these aspirations are related to the self, and some of them are related to the body, and sometimes some of them are related to both the self and the body. So, for example, knowledge, quest for knowledge is related to the self. Can you see it? Likewise, if you see on the right, coming out of stress, managing pressure of academics, time management, loss of time due to illness, entertainment, domination of one gender over the other. So all these things are concerns by the students. So when we address them, as we discussed in one of the previous sessions, there is no piecemeal solution. If you give piecemeal solution to one of them, that may be contradicting maybe to the other, or the other concerns are still not addressed at all. Now here in this UHV content, we are discussing about a holistic solution to all these concerns. We don't give any solution directly to the students, but what we do is we try to help the students to come out of these concerns by themselves through referring to the natural acceptance. Let them find out their own solutions of their concerns. So here in this particular session, we discuss about the aspiration to be healthy and loss of time due to illness. Yeah, Vijaya Sundarvelji is typing. Yeah, happy this roundly. So G, if you would like to share something, you can share regarding the content. Vijaya Sundarvelji, if you would like to share something, you're welcome regarding the content. Okay, nice. Yeah, so these two aspects of the aspirations or the concerns by the students, like to be healthy is an aspiration and loss of time due to illness is a concern. These two are connected. You can see that when many students join the college, new institution, because the institution is situated in a different place than they have been familiar with, there is possibility of many health issues. There may be problems with the environment, the physical environment, maybe problems with say dust in the particular area. They may be coming from a rural environment to an urban environment, possibly. Just giving a possibility only. The food habits of the other place, the institution may be different from what they have been familiar with. Water is also can be a problem. So there are several kinds of issues. So what we can follow as general programs with regard to health will be discussed over here, and detailed discussion on health, as we said, this will be discussed only in the holistic health session on Fridays. Yeah. So when we say these aspirations or address these aspirations, like to be healthy and want to eat tasty but healthy food, want a healthy and peaceful environment by the students, and addressing this kind of concerns like infections, the environment, as we discussed just now. The new environment may sometimes, it may be detrimental, or it may not be that much conducive to the student in question. So some kind of infections like waterborne infections, airborne diseases can happen to the student maybe in the first time. So how to come out of this? Non-communicable disorders may be there, like obesity, maybe like food habits can cause this. Then tension, depression kind of issues can be there because of peer pressure or otherwise. Insufficient use of time, so time management. So these are some of the issues which can cause the health of the student. So time loss is a result due to illness. Do you wish to place your sharing with regard to this, or any other thing which you see than this when a student comes to a new institution, or even otherwise? You have to explore into this, how understanding human being can help us in realizing our aspiration and also resolving the issues holistically. So the first thing in addressing these concerns and aspirations is to see who is a human being. And that is something which we have discussed already in the previous sessions. A human being is a coexistence of self and body. So a realization into this is the first thing which we require before we go into the health session. So any other thing which you would like to add here than whatever is being stated or whatever is being proposed over here? Other concerns which you would like to place before we proceed further? Or you were sharing with regard to the students, because some of your teachers also, so when the students enter into a new college, or even the existing students who are there in the college, regarding the aspirations regarding health and concerns regarding, say, time loss or health. Anything else would you like to present or place? If not, we move on to the next segment. Right. So this is what we have discussed in one of our previous sessions. Many of us would be very familiar with this. The proposal that the human being is a coexistence of self and body. We are something more than the body. We can see the body. If you look at the mirror also, you can see the body. Or somebody else also can identify your body. But the aspirations or the needs of the self and the body are different. This we can identify. We discussed about this in session number 4. When the needs of the self are like happiness, example, respect, and it is continuous in time, the needs of the body are only physical facilities, because the body is a material and self is a consciousness unit. The body needs food, the body needs shelter, the body needs clothes, etc. So these are only temporary, always temporary and intermittent. You don't need food continuously to the body. You don't need even clothes also continuously to the body. You can observe this and explore. Quantity of food required for the body is limited. We have observed this. Even if it is a delicious food, you cannot take it for continuously for a long time. There is a limit to that. But when it comes to the feelings part, in the self, happiness, if you ask any human being whether you require, say, 1 kilogram of happiness or so, suddenly he starts laughing out, because he cannot quantify happiness. But if you ask, say, him, how much time you require happiness, maybe today do you require happiness? What about tomorrow? You require happiness tomorrow also? Yesterday, were you happy? So these questions, the response would be like, yeah, I want happiness always. You can also explore what would be your response with regard to happiness. Or the feelings like respect, trust, etc. We want these feelings, the right feelings, continuously in the self, and it is qualitative. You cannot measure it through any means. And we have also observed that the needs of the self are fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling, and we are working for that. This is not complete. All of us are working towards this right understanding and right feeling. When I say the right understanding, this is understanding harmony at all the four levels, individual to the nature and existence. And the feelings are already there in the relationship, but the feelings which are guided by right understanding, they are the right feelings. And we have a discussion on this right feelings sooner than later. Yeah, Mohan Bhaiya, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. But when it comes to the body, the physiochemical things are required to fulfill the needs of the body. So both are required. Physiochemical things are required for the body. When you are very hungry, you need food. And when the food is served with right feelings, you'll be happy in the self, as well as your body will be nourished with the food. Now, activities, we have discussed in the previous session that the desires, thoughts, expectations are happening continuously in the self. Right? There is no point, there is no moment in our activities or in our life where at which there is no imagination happening in the self. Even when we are sleeping, even when we are walking, even when we are doing some other job, these desires, thoughts, expectations are happening. But we may not be able to recognize which is the desire, which is a thought, and which is the connected expectation. Yeah, there is some thought processes happening within us, some imaginations happening within us. Sometimes it is in the form of an image. Sometimes it is in the form of a thought. You can identify that. Then if you analyze that imagination, as we discussed in session 4, we can see that this imagination has 3 components. One is desire, which is associated to a feeling. Second is the thought process. And third is the expectation part, the selecting and tasting part. In thought process, we analyze and compare. So the expectation part is something which we can distinguish very easily. Then we have a lot of expectation. From education, we have some expectations, say. From this particular session also, there is some expectation. I have an expectation, you have an expectation. Well, we wish that our self-exploration process will be enriched through this particular session. That is our expectation. The basic desire behind that you can just identify as happiness, as the basic desire behind this. I want to be happy. And I have certain thought process also behind attending this particular session. I can explore the proposals in quite detail through exemplification. I can also share something in the session. So this may be your thought process. And the expectation part, as we discussed, it is the enhancing or improving, enriching the self-exploration part. So this is happening, this imagination is happening as an activity in the self continuously. But in the body, the body's activity of the body, even if it is sleeping, eating, walking, this is temporary or intermittent. You cannot eat continuously, you cannot walk continuously, you cannot sleep continuously also. This is something which we have discussed, but I have just discussed about this to have a recap of what we have discussed already. Now, in light of this, we are going to discuss about this health aspect. So what is the role of this the proposal that human being as a coexistence of self and body in health? Which reality, self or body, needs health? Can you put in the chat box? Which reality, the self or the body, requires health? Both requires health? Or self requires health, body requires health? What do you think? Etymology is typing, it is the body. Nice. So others also maybe yeah. And still, to be in harmony, body requires health. Nice. Yeah. The body, yeah. Ahmad Ravasi is typing body. The body is already in harmony. And still, you can see that, right? The body is already in harmony. Every cell of the body is in harmony. If there is a disharmony in the body, that will pop up into unhealthy condition. That's what you are mentioning in your message, right? Yeah, nice. Very nice. So we can see that the body requires health and the self is responsible for this. Is it not? The self is responsible for the health of the body. If in the self we do not have an awareness with regard to what is health, then our activities to which the body is subjected to by the self will be in that manner only. Like eating, for example. If you do not know which food is nurturing the body, which food is good for the body, if we do not know that, then we continue eating with taste only, eating for taste. The taste is going to the self, as you can see this. But the nurturing part is going to the body. And the purpose of eating food is nurturing the body. What do you think? Is the purpose of eating food is nurturing the body, or is it just for taste in the self? Or both? Nurturing the body. So we discussed this aspect in this particular session. In light of this proposal of human being is a coexistence of self and body with these needs and activities. So this is what we discuss. When the needs of the self are fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling, the needs of the body are fulfilled by physiochemical things in addition to the right understanding and right feeling. The physiochemical things can be served to the body with right understanding and right feeling. And in the health aspect, what is required is the body is acting according to the self. We also have discussed in the previous session that the body is an instrument of the self. The body is used as an instrument of the self, and the activities of the body are according to the self only. And every part of the body is in harmony, in order. But many times we are not aware of this, that the blood is flowing through the blood vessels. Are we aware of that at every point of time? The heart is beating. Are we aware of this every point of time? The digestion is happening in the digestive system. Are we aware of this at every point of time? All the other organs are working in their proper fashion, but many a times we are not aware of this. When a sensation is transferred from the body to the self, we will be aware of this. Suppose there is an injury happening to some part of the body. The sensation in the form of pain will be transferred from the body to the self, that there is a disharmony, there is an injury at some part of the body, and this has to be treated. So suddenly the self becomes aware of this, and with a feeling of self-regulation, whatever is required as treatment to the body will be offered. So this is what we are discussing here, the feeling of self-regulation. The proposal here is the feeling of self-regulation is the feeling of responsibility towards the body for nurturing, protection, and right utilization of the body. So from the proposals which we have discussed already, Can somebody please you were sharing with regard to what is this nurturing, what is this protection, and what is right utilization of the body? Nurturing we have already discussed with regard to food, right? Okay, so the food required for nurturing the body. But what about this protection and right utilization? What is required for protection and what is required for rightly utilizing the body? You can type in the chat box or you can use the mic to speak. Mics are being given to almost all of you. Right. So when food is required for nurturing the body, protection, we say clothes are required for protection, shelter is like house is required for protection, your footwears may be required for protection of your body, right? Your spectacles, sometimes you wear this sunglasses if required for protection against heat of the sun. So these things, we can say these are protecting our body. Different weather conditions, you require different kind of clothes. This is also an example of protection. Winter clothes are different from summer clothes. Likewise. And for right utilization of the body, even now also you listen to me through this gadgets, internet. The gadgets, the laptop is there or the mobile is there through which you listen to my voice. So these instruments are helping to rightly utilize the body. Otherwise, if these gadgets were not there and this internet was not there, then we have to sit together and discuss this. Now we are sitting in different parts of the country and discussing this, sharing this values. So this is possible because of these instruments. When you want to go to another place, what we do is we hire a vehicle, we use the public transport, we go by our own vehicle, or sometimes we walk to the place if it is close by. If the place is distant, then these vehicles are required as instruments to rightly utilize the body. Otherwise, if you walk to a distance of more than that you can do, maybe in a short span of time, your body will be tired and the right utilization will be affected of the body will be affected. The pen which you use to write down something is also an example of an instrument. Now you can find out which are the other instruments you are using for rightly utilizing the body. So you can identify which are those which food is nurturing the body, which are the things which are protecting your body, and how much is required for protection of your body also you can identify, and which are the instruments which help you to rightly utilize your body. So this feeling of responsibility towards the body is what is referred to as the feeling of self-regulation. So that health is ensured in the body acts according to the self and parts of the body are in harmony. This is the outcome of this feeling of self-regulation. Any sharing with regard to what we discussed just now? From your side, you can unmute and speak. Any kind of examples which you would like to give from your own life or from the colleagues, life of the colleagues, or in the institution where you study or where you work regarding self-regulation? Are you following this self-regulation always? Are you having this responsibility of towards the body for nurturing, protection, and right utilization? But sometimes we go beyond this, sometimes we do not follow this. Any kind of exploration with regard to this we can place now. Okay. So what we discussed is the feeling of self-regulation, program for it, and health in the body. This is what we have been discussing, and we discussed already that the body is an orderly system which is always in harmony unless otherwise affected. It has a definite conduct. All the cells in the body are working together in harmony with each other, participating in the larger order to form tissues, organs, and organ systems. And we can also note that the cells are continuously changing over a period of time. Maybe after a few years, all the cells in the body would have been replaced by new cells, and for which we require food for nourishment, right? So I or the self have to ensure the continuity of that harmony. That is my responsibility, not to disturb it. When I choose non-healthy kind of food and non-healthy kind of routine, then knowingly or unknowingly, I am disturbing it. If it is of not because of knowledge, then let us have this feeling of self-responsibility and self-regulation towards the body. This is what is the point of discussion here. So if I have a feeling of responsibility towards the body, I will do what is required for fulfilling that responsibility. And this will ensure health in the body, right? So what is required for health in the body? What is the primary thing which is required for health in the body? Is it the food? Is it something else? Or is it medicine? Or do you think it is something else which is required for the health of the body? Let us think for some time. Which is required for the body the most? I'll give you some choices. You can just put in the chat box. Air, water, solid food, sunlight, any other thing. Which is required for the body the most as intake? These are the intakes, right? A few intakes, not all. Air, water, solid food, sunlight. There are other intakes also. Whatever we intake from the senses, they're also intakes. So which one among these is required by the body the most as an intake? Air. Pencil types, it is air. Any other exploration by anybody else? You're welcome. You can speak also using the mic. We can observe what is there in abundance in this atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere. Because life is there on the Earth only. So what is there in abundance is it air or water or soil or the solid things? Here also we can observe that air is in abundance in the atmosphere of the Earth. So when we intake things, we will discuss about intake also in a few minutes from now. When we intake, let us intake what is there in abundance more. So air is in abundance, so we require air the most, let's say. Then the next thing is water. So water is also required. And the least thing which you require is solid food. Of course, solid food is required, but that is from among these three, the solid food is the least quantity. Do you have any exploration with regard to this? Any sharing with regard to what we discussed just now? The responsibility of the self towards the body is being discussed. I just given an example of intake. air, water, and solid food in that order to ensure the health of the body. So the feeling of responsibility towards the body by the self or by I or self is what we refer to as self-regulation to ensure the health of the body. This is what we discuss, and we explore this in further detail. Yeah. Yeah, this discussion we have had in several occasions, right, in the past. Whenever we discuss about health, this is one of the major picture which comes to us. What is the program for staying healthy? A couple of weeks before, Shamla Didi also was discussing with regard to this on one Friday. What is the program for staying healthy? There are a few boxes given. Right, on top, the box A is having three things. One is intake and daily routine, lifestyle. 2, labor and exercise. 3, postures for regulating internal and external body organs and regulated breathing. The fourth thing is that's given in the box B for bringing body back to harmony from temporary disharmony, medicine. So where shall we place this? And the box C, which is given in black, is dependence on drug, machine to perform a body function, that is treatment. So if we quickly go through this, what are all these things like intake? That is what we have discussed just now, or have been discussing now. Intake means what? Whatever we intake through our senses, I would say. All the things. It includes air, water, sunlight, food. Not all. Yeah, when we say food, food is nutritious, digestible, tasty, and the waste should be excretable. And all intake through our senses, sound, sight, smell, etc. Right. Whatever I say is also an intake as far as you are concerned. Whatever you see on screen is also an intake. Whatever smell you get is also an intake. And how important is this intake? How to control this intake? How to take a curb upon the intake with your self-regulation? You always say that dose makes a poison, right? Even if it is nutritious food, let us say nutritious food, but if you take it in excessive quantity, this becomes like a poison. There is a limit which your body requires. So the self can have its own decision upon that. We will take the decision upon based on our self-regulation that this much food is required for my body. This depends upon person to person. It is not same for every person. How much water is required, how much solid food is required. So we can have a self-regulation upon this. How much is required for the body. And daily routine, the lifestyle. Are we following this circadian cycle? Are we following this rising of the sun and setting of the sun? Are we following this day-night cycle of the earth? Our human body is also connected to the day-night cycle of the earth. If you work late night every day continuously and rise up late in the morning every day, let's say for a few days continuously, you can observe what is happening to your health. Well, there may be some other criteria for rising up and say going to bed. But if you do it, say like some IT experts, if they do continuously the routine, like working in the night and sleeping in the daytime, we can observe what is happening to this. Maybe this can happen for a few days, that may be okay. But if it is continuous, if it goes on continuously for some, say a few weeks or sometimes a few months together, then you can observe what is happening to the health. So routine, we discussed about this also a little bit detail. May not be today, maybe next day in detail. But now we quickly just go through what are these, say, 4 parameters. That's it. And then we will stop within a few minutes. So intake and daily routine following the circadian rhythm, circadian cycle, they are important to stay healthy. Then labor and exercise. The body requires, the muscles require movements. When we do some labor in our kitchen garden, or when we use our bicycle to the college or school for traveling, if it is a short distance, right? When we walk to the market to purchase something, let's say, or when we do some work in our courtyard to help the plants grow over there, this is something which we can refer to as labor. And labor always produces some physical facility. Outcome of labor is production of physical facility. This will be discussed in detail later. Right, but sometimes we, in place of doing labor or in addition to doing labor, we do exercise also. Like let's say half an hour to 1 hour a day, preferably in the morning, but it can be in the evening also, depending upon our convenience. The muscles of the body has to, or they have to have a movement by themselves. So labor and exercise. This is coming as number 2 in the list for staying healthy. And you can observe the posture in which you are sitting right now in listening to this discussion. Are you sitting straight on a chair? Are you laying down on your bed? Or are you walking and listening? That is your choice. But the postures, when you sit down, when you walk, when you lay down, these have to be following our, say, comfort of our skeleton, let's say. And our breathing, is it regulated or is it changing? For regulating the internal and external body organs, and for breathing, are they regulated or are they changing continuously? And due to continuous usage of these gadgets, do we have some neck issues? We can just check this. Many students, it is observed that after their during this COVID time, many of them have developed these neck problems because of use of this computer or mobile specifically, to be precise, over a period of time. All right. So we have almost come to the end of the time, and now before we go further, we will start discussing about this particular slide in the next meeting also. So before we close, I would like to listen from some of you with regard to what we have discussed today, or any sharing which you would like to place right now. Anybody would like to share something before we close for the day? So what we can observe for the day as an exercise till the next Wednesday's meeting is we can observe our daily routine, what we are doing every day. What is our intake? Are we taking this air the most? Water, do we take water, say, at least 1 hour before food and not during food? Slightly warm water is good for health. and we discuss about the circadian cycle in the next Wednesday only. So we can observe what is our daily routine. Are we following the Earth's rotation, like the day-night cycle, or are we following our own routine? Are we doing at least half an hour to 1 hour exercise every day or labor every day? Are we giving some movement to the muscles every day so that the body is flexible for working? Are we regulating our postures for internal and external body organs, and breathing is also getting regulated? We can just observe this. We discuss about the other part in the next meeting. So if there is any sharing, you can place it, or otherwise I will hand over to Parishit Bhaiya. Bhaiya, over to you. If there is no sharing, then we can close the meeting. Thank you. Thank you for the patient listening.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ishant Patil Bhaiya, for being there full time. Thank you, Parishit Bhaiya, for hosting the meeting. And
thank you, Bhaiya. It was a nice session from your side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you for that.
Thank you, everybody. Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks to all. Thank you very much.